What is up, guys? It's Eli here, and today we are doing a mod review showcase, and this is the Orespawn mod. Adds in tons of new bosses, mobs, dimensions, items, armor, weapons, you name it. So I'm just going to get started with a couple of the cool mobs that I found. There are lots and lots and lots of mobs that have been added to this mod. You can see like attack squid, kraken, beast, stinkbug, ostrich, nightmare, medium worm, tons of stuff. Okay, so the first one is the alien. This guy runs around super fast. Check out the model for him too. His tail swings around. Next guy's the leaf monster. He blends in. You can't see him, so you just walk along the forest, and bow! Out of nowhere, this guy comes up. Yeah. This is the robo sniper. He shoots little things at you. They hurt. This is the bee. Keep your sound down when you're fighting this guy, because the sound will probably destroy your ears. Yeah. This is the Robo Pounder. He destroys glass. That made it kind of hard to set up this review showcase. He swings his big arms and whacks you. This is the Spitbog. He's a boss. A boss summons this guy in. He shoots little things at you too. This is the WTF. He moves his little tentacles and slowly sucks the living. Okay, anyway. This is a QB. He sets you on fire. Not very fun. Kind of just walks around doing stuff. Okay, now we're going to move on to some of the bosses. First boss we got here is the Hercules Beetle. This guy packs a punch. He will throw you into the air. And he has a very cool texture. 250 hit points. But the sword does 750 attack damage, so it's not really a competition. Drops tons of meat and an attitude adjuster, it looks like, which is pretty crazy. Okay, the next we got the Mantis. This guy will fly away. Really annoying, just attacks you. He spawns in plain biomes. He also has that really annoying buzzing sound. Next is the Molinoid. He will put dirt everywhere, and the dirt actually puts slowness on you, and it slowly disappears. So let's just punch him right here. See, he put some of his dirt down. I walk really slow on this dirt. So, don't like that guy. The dirt traps you and can suffocate you, and he spawns it all around. The dirt will slowly disappear, but I'm going to get rid of it. It's actually called Molinoid dirt. It's a special dirt for this mod. Okay, the next guy we got here is the Sea Viper. He's going in... God, this guy's so messy. We got the Sea Viper. He packs a punch, puts poison on you. Really cool model, 160 hit points. A lot of these bosses just drop some random stuff from the mod too, so it's not very particular. Next is Mothra. He's another flying guy. He actually shoots fireballs, so I'm going to go over here in our little naturally created battle dome and check him out. He's a giant moth that is suffocating right now. 1 second, let me take him out of his... And he puts a lot of moths out. Okay, let's spawn him in again. Here we go. He's huge. With 150 hit points. He regens, and when he dies, he spawns lots of these little moths. Non-hostile, but they have a setting to be aggressive, which apparently they aren't right now. Okay, the next we got here is the Sea Monster. He kind of just bucks his head at you, like that. It's like he's jazzing. Anyway, 110 hit points. Dead. Next we got the Water Dragon. He shoots little charges at you. Come on, shoot at me. He regens, shoots little charges at you, really annoying. All these bosses will actually attack each other, so they're great for mob battles. Next is the Vortex. I'm going to go over here again. Found this in the Crystal Antimension, 150 hit points, flies around with big eyes, killing everything she sees. Kill her if I can. Okay, next we got the Emperor Scorpion. This guy, super heavily armored. He has some cool animations. Wish he'd do them. He pinches his claw, strikes his tail, puts poison on you. Tons of damage, super heavy armor with 350 hit points. He's a tough boss. I can't even kill him with the sword one hit because this sword does a 750 attack damage. His armor is really good. That only did 200 on him. Most of these bosses drop scales used for the crafting of Big Bertha. Okay, the next one we got is the T-Rex. He is a very brutal mob. He does lots of attack damage, sprints after you, and he's clocking in at 160 hit points. Next, we got the Caterpillar, and this is why I put the tree here, because this guy eats trees. You gonna do it for me? You gonna do it? Let's get him low down. Okay, now eat the tree. Come on, man. I just wanted you to eat the tree. Yeah, look, he's eating the tree. There we go. He eats trees and regens like a boss while he's in a forest. You're going to find him in a forest biome. He has 450 hit points. Brutal. He puts webs everywhere, too, when you're attacking him. Come on. Put some webs down, buddy. I'm a bad guy. He's not doing it right now, but he puts tons of webs down that sticks you. And he's brutal. Again, spawns in butterflies. That seems to be a theme here when mobs die. Okay, next we got the Basilisk. This guy puts slowness and poison on you, and he is just extremely brutal to be around. 200 hit points, tons of damage. Nice model. He drops lots of emeralds and emerald tools. Next we got the Leonopteryx. This guy can actually be tamed. He's modeled after the dragon from Avatar. Really cool looking, will go after you. Sorry, buddy. Next, we got the Hammerhead. This guy, he's also modeled after that big ram that's going in Avatar. And he has a very, very, very cool model. Tons of defense, 250 hit points. Let's whack him. Oh my god, my inventory's getting full. Next, we got the Jumpy Bug. He might jump out of here. He spawns in little spit bug minions, so let's whack him. His spit bug minions, like I showed you over here, are these guys that disappeared. We got the video, I guess. The Triffid and a Nightmare. Triffid, this guy is really annoying because when you whack him once, he goes into like this defensive mode right here, and you can't whack him for a little while. You can whack him all you want, but it won't do any damage, so he's kind of annoying to fight. Right here we got the Kraken. This guy puts rain down. He's huge, he flies, and he makes it rain. He has 1,000 hit points. Very brutal. And yeah, he's dead. Oh, we got a naturally spawning caterpillar right here. You can see he's eating part of that tree. Okay, next we got the Triffid just died. Next we got the Nightmare. These guys, this is one with lower health. They can go from 250 hit points, I believe, to 750, so let's try to get a bigger one. Oh, just joking, they can go a lot smaller than that. There's a big one. 500 health, they can go all the way up to 750. Come back. That is all, most of the bosses from Orespawn. There are tons. I might not have covered all of them, so I apologize if I did. If I didn't cover all of them. Next, we got the stuff category. This is pretty cool. Okay, so first we got, let me just put all this down here. First thing we're going to do is the Miner's Dream. This is pretty non-expensive, and you can right-click. You probably want to be low down because this gets you resources. You right-click, carves out a huge tunnel for you with torches, and leaves all the ore so you can mine it out. See, it just builds a little bridge across ravines and stuff, depending on what you want. Kind of like that. You can just spam it. I'm just kidding, you can't spam it. It's one use kind of thing. Just put it across caverns, ravines. Really useful so you don't have to build your own cobblestone path. Let's just deck this place out with tons of this stuff. Okay. The next thing we got is the hoverboard. If you're not in creative, you can get on this bad boy and you can fly around. It goes extremely fast. And I just dismounted it. And you just kind of let it float down too. it will go down kind of like you're riding a dragon bike eventually, and this has some cool animation for it. Okay. Next we got the, oh my god, don't do it. This actually spawns a huge tree in your dimension. You can see the caterpillar's webs over here. I'm stuck inside of it. This tree is giant. This is actually one of the smaller trees. You're going to see once we go into this dimension later, they get a lot bigger than this. Yeah, that's what that does. Next we got the instant garden. This is also pretty neat. If you're running low on food, or I don't know why you really need this. If you're a farmer and you don't, just never mind. If you want a garden, you right click, you got an instant garden with new foods and stuff from this mod. Okay, next we got a survival shelter. Just started out, you need to make something. You can right click with this thing. Instant survival shelter, a chest with some iron tools, beds, food, compass, map, coal, and salt ore, which keeps the termites from eating your wood and turning it into dirt. Keep that in mind because termites are really nasty and you don't want them to eat your wood and turn it into dirt. That's all the stuffs that I thought was worth reviewing anyway. There are a lot of items in this mod, so check them out. Okay, next we got, one second. Okay, next we got the weapons. There are some awesome weapons here. Okay, let's test it out on, let's spawn in an Emperor Scorpion and see how this stuff plays. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so, Royal Guardian, we already saw that. Thunderstaff, this thing shoots lightning from the sky, damages mobs, you know. Destroys blocks, but because let me do it over here. It's pretty cool. Okay, next we got the ultimate sword, tons of enchants on it. Yeah, just whack them with it. Next we got the ultimate bow. You can rapid fire it. It does wear down the durability quite quickly if you do that. It does usually 50 damage, but because these guys have high defense, it doesn't do that much. You got your Squidzuka. These are attack squids. Emperor Scorpions instantly kill them, but they kind of just run around, attack stuff. They're really annoying to fight. Next, you got our escape bow. This does more than 100 damage, but on these guys it only does 20. Let me just shoot at this guy down here. 52 damage. On iron golems, anyway, it does a full 100 damage. Next, we got our attitude adjuster. You right click on you just click on the ground like you're fighting. Blows the area up, puts fire down, does some damage. This has 86 attack damage. Got your frickin' ray gun next. Just shoot with this thing. It shoots little charges out, blows stuff up. Yeah, that is all the amazing weapons for this mod. Next, we got the armor. Stuff's pretty ridiculous. This is the armor you need to kill Mobzilla, and this is the armor you need once you... I'm wearing the armor you need to defeat the king, the Mobzilla stuff. Use scales off of Mobzilla to do that. Okay, so the first dimension you probably want to go to is the brown ant dimension. So, you're walking along, you find a brown ant, and you're like, whoa, what should I do? So, you want to right-click this ant, and bam, you're in a suffocating underground in a new dimension. So, there are tons of huge trees in this dimension, as you can see. Some of them will have chests. If you see an iron golem on a tree, it's a chest tree, okay? And I'm going to show you some of the structures in this dimension. The first structure you're going to find is this big thing. It's pretty common. And inside it, you're going to find a king spawn egg. So you don't have to fight him in this super laggy dimension because there's a lot of apple trees and stuff. The next thing you're gonna find is the king tree. You're gonna want to stay away from this. This is decked out with blocks of everything in the mod. Pretty powerful, but there is a guardian to it, and that would be the king. He guards it really well. You want to watch out for him. You could just be doing incognito, probably steal blocks from the branches, but he will come down and he will one-hit you if you don't have a good enough armor, okay? Okay, the next dimension you're going to go to is the red ant dimension. Okay, this is the red ant dimension. You just right-click the red ant again to get here. and kind of like a party here, okay? There are a lot of dungeons here. I'm going to show you guys those in a second, and a lot of just interesting looking mobs. Okay, the first dungeon right here is pretty cool looking. You go down this ladder right here. Not really a ladder. You go down here. Sorry, let me get some torches. Keep going down. Blah, blah, blah. It's a long ladder. Or long staircase. Finally get down here. And you realize, oh my god, this must be the Basilisk dungeon. So you shit yourself. No, there's a maze that you got to go through, and then you find some basilisks beyond the maze. I don't know where the entrance is to the maze, so I'm just going to go this way and find, oh, here's the maze anyway. But eventually, if you don't suck at going through mazes, you're going to find the basilisks. And here are the basilisks right here and here. The basilisks apparently all are dead, which is kind of strange. Whatever. I will cut, and when we find the next dungeon, we will return. I was unable to actually find the other dungeons, but there are a few. There's like the Ender dungeon. You can find a Mothra in this dimension and T-Rex at night. And the next dungeon you're probably going to want to go to is the Unstable Ant dimension. Come back here. Right-click the ant once again. Okay, in this dimension there are tons and tons of dungeons and cloud sharks. I will cut once we find the next dungeon. The first dungeon you're going to find is just a small dungeon with a spawner inside it and a chest. This can have tons of different things inside it. It's not a hostile dungeon. Usually it is. So yeah, that's about it for this one. Another thing to point out is the floating islands. You can actually kill the floating islands. What? You can kill the floating... Yeah, you can kill the floating islands. They usually have a little core thing. And you can... They drop seeds, and you can make your own floating islands. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, another dungeon you're going to find is the Molinoid dungeon. You go in here, and you find a Molinoid, and you battle with him. He puts down his dirt. Yeah. Pretty cool structure, too. The next dungeon you will find is the 6-tier dungeon. It's not always 6 tiers. It can be lower tiers. And there's going to be tons of mobs. This is going to be a wild, epic fight. You're going to make your way up here through rotators, bees, mothras, mantises. Finally, you're going to get to the top. You're going to find a nightmare spawner. Tons of nightmares are going to spawn in. This dungeon is hell. Okay, you're going to make your way through here. And you're going to find worms that will take everything from your inventory. Yay! Inside the chests, you'll find tons of weird stuff, like miner's dreams. Next down, you're going to find T-Rexes, basilisks, Hercules beetles, jumpy bugs, hammerheads that are aggressive, and tons of Emperor Scorpions just for your enjoyment. This dungeon's really hard, and it frustrates you a lot because there's lots of little mobs that you have to kill. And yeah. Okay, guys, one other thing I wanted to point out is that there are other dungeons in this dimension. There's a robot dungeon. There's like a big Ender dungeon. But I was unable to find those, and these dungeons' spawn frequency is pretty low. You might be able to change that in the config file. So you do have to get rid of everything from your inventory to go to this dimension, including your armor. Completely naked right now. All I have is the spawner, and I will have to get rid of that too. So you go to this dimension with nothing whatsoever. Right-click the ant once again. Okay, here we are. We have a completely glass dimension. 100% glass dimension. And you can go all the way down to bedrock just through this glass dome. And you can see there's dungeons and chests down at bedrock, so once you go down there, you can have some fun. There are some pretty fun dungeons here. There's a lot of quail, peacocks and stuff, crystal cows, stuff like that. Here's a dungeon, has a vortex spawner at the top, has some rotators, some dungeon beasts, some urchins, and some apple cows to have fun with you. There are some fairy dungeons and stuff, but we're not going to go over those. Those aren't very interesting. That's about it for this dimension. Really cool, though, crystal stuff. Adds a pretty fun challenge into your game. Okay, the final thing we got here is the awesome stuff. Okay, I'm going to go way away from my mod showcase thing. Okay, here are the two epic bosses. They just added in a queen. The version was not released yet, so I'm not going to be able to show it yet. But okay, your first boss is Mobzilla. This thing, with 4,000 hit points, destroys terrain, and is brutal. Fireballs at all creatures, lightning. This guy is one tough thing to tackle. You're gonna use Big Bertha on him, and you're gonna whack him with your 500 attack damage. It's going to be a really hard fight. Okay, the next boss you're going to fight is the King. This guy is brutal. We already saw him when we went over to that dimension, the Brown Ant dimension. He shoots fireballs, lightning. It looks like he was shooting the rotator charges too, but he's brutal. We're not going to mess around with him. Guys, thanks for watching. This has been an awesome mod showcase. I love Orespawn. Have fun. Keep watching our channel. And peace out, guys.